Hello and welcome to the Congo Hour. We want to thank you so much for watching. Tonight, Wayne, we have 2 interviews.
Yes.
And then I'm not sure if we're going to have Sammy's Corner. Have you talked to him?
No.
I think he's at
Dina's coordination.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to slip out of there or not. But if
I
not,
don't know because Miss Paulette had just texted me and they was just like giving her Bible and
Were they?
things
Oh,
like
okay.
that. So
Okay.
he might sneak by.
all right.
One never knows.
That's true. That's true. Either way, we're going to have a fun and exciting show. We're going to have, towards the end of our show, we're going to have our funeral announcements and our community news and some birthday announcements.
Okay.
We have 2 guests, and our
Yes.
second guest is going to be,
Dr. Donald Morton.
okay.
Yeah, so it's really important the message that he wants to get out
It is.
this evening. So make sure you call everyone and tell them to tune into the Congo Hour. Well, you all know that I have a favorite part of the show, which is Sammy's Corner, and Trippy has a favorite part of the show, which is the Student of the Week.
That's right.
And this Student of the Week, she says she's shy, but she's not shy at
No,
all.
not at all. Full of energy and a lot of fun. We want to welcome
Yes.
to the show Miss Miracle Roan. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
How are you?
Fine.
You want to introduce yourself to everyone? You can let everyone know your name and your age and what school you go to, what grade you're in.
Okay. My name is Miracle, and I go to Eastside Charter,
And what grade are you in?
and I'm in the 5th grade.
5th grade. Okay. So, who'd you bring with you
My
tonight?
friend Alyssa.
Wait.
That's all?
Who's sitting directly next to
grandma.
you? Your
Oh,
grandma.
okay.
Okay.
My principal, Dr. Brown.
All right.
Best
All right.
principal.
The best principal.
The best principal.
That's good.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming. We appreciate all of you.
Now, Trippy, I think I shared with you before how I met Miracle at a civic association.
Oh,
meeting.
yes,
She was
yes, you
sitting
did.
around the
Yeah,
table
yeah.
taking care of business. I was like, I like her. Yes, so.
I think everyone on our staff has met her also.
Carolyn.
Yes, because on every funeral, she reminds them that she wants to be the student of the week.
My favorite.
That's right. And she's a definite supporter of the show. She
Yeah.
watches it every week.
Well, she really likes Mr. Trippy on the
Of
show.
course,
Because
that's
wait
right.
a minute, on the sign-in thing, you know how people normally put Congo Hour?
Saw that.
She put Mr. Trippy.
That's right.
So
Because they have a
Miracle.
reason. On the sign-in sheet, they have they ask you your reason for coming to the studio.
She
Most
didn't
people, like
say
you said,
Congo
Congo
Hour.
Hour. She put Mr. Trippy. So
I gotta take a
that's
picture
my
of that.
buddy. All right, Miracle. So you're doing pretty well in school, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your favorite subject in school?
Science.
Science.
All right.
So I picked up Miracle last Friday. She had, I think, 4 of your friends. 4 of your friends were there. We went to
One
McDonald's.
couldn't make it.
That was your cousin?
Who?
Wasn't your cousin supposed to come? But he didn't want to
Yeah,
come
but he
because it
didn't
was
want to
all
come because
girls.
of the girls.
Yeah, it was all
Oh,
girls.
He's probably watching right now.
Is he? All right. So he missed out on all the fun. We had a great time. We went to McDonald's, went to the school. When we got to school, some of the teachers were there and they took pictures with us. So it was a fun time.
Yes.
Fun time. Grandma, I know you're very proud of Miracle.
Yes, I am. I'm getting there.
You're getting there. It's a process, huh?
But I want to always say that grandmothers are really special. So we appreciate you for taking care of Miracle. She's such a wonderful young lady.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
She was saying last week, she was like, I know, she's like, I watch every week, Mr. Trippy, because you weren't there last week. And Miss Wayne was there all by herself, and I love her high heels. So she was,
Thank
she
you.
was
You pay
definitely on it.
attention too. I love that.
And I like how you have your principal here. I think that's one of the key elements in having successful students is that relationship between the teachers and the student and the family. So thank you so much for coming, Mr. Principal, the best principal.
That's what she said. The best
That's right.
principal.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and the school.
Yeah, I've been at Eastside 3 years now.
Okay.
We've had tremendous gains. Grew over 24% in math and reading the last 2 years.
Okay.
We actually had Secretary of Education Arnie Duncan come this past Wednesday, as well as Governor Markell. So it's been great to see the support that we're getting in the community. And it's because of grandmothers like her and students like Miracle and Alyssa, who are working very hard. That makes our school very special.
You get 3s and 4s.
You get 3s and 4s?
That's
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
So about for Eastside, what grades do you serve?
Eastside used to serve just K to 8. Now we have a pre-K, and we're
Okay.
actually expanding to a big pre-K program for 66 kids. So all the families out there who have 4-year-olds who are going to be in pre-K next year, please come sign up. We're going to have a great new facility right next to our building
All
to
right.
serve all those families in the community.
And where are you located?
We're at 3000 North Claymont Street,
Okay.
right off Governor Prince Boulevard.
All right, that's the old Martin Luther King.
Old Martin Luther King
Oh,
Boulevard.
okay,
Yep,
okay,
yep, yep,
okay,
yep.
got you.
All right.
This one. I remember know that.
Miracle's trying to figure out what camera
you
she
forgot.
looks.
Yeah,
she needs
this
to look in. All right. And what's the contact number for the school? So if in case people have
Yep,
any
sure. It's
questions.
762-5834. Again, 762-5834. We're enrolling grades pre-K and K right now. We have a
Okay.
lot of spaces available.
Okay. All right. And Miracle, you also brought one of your friends with you. You want to introduce her one more time, and we'll let her say a few things.
Her name is Alyssa Walker, my best friend.
All right. Welcome to the show,
And she's a
Alyssa.
little shy.
I thought you were one of the
Yeah,
ones
I
that-
am.
I
too.
told you
yeah,
she was
it's
far
shady.
from
Not
fine. Not
I
at all.
am.
So Alyssa, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. What grade are you in? Fifth grade. And what's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math. And did you enjoy the limousine ride?
Yes.
It was okay?
She kept hiding behind me.
Alyssa's
she really is
She's a very
shy.
good student, too. Very, very good student. Works very hard in her classes.
All right.
So that speaks volume because it's good to have friends that do well. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing.
That's right. All right, Alyssa, do you want to say hi to anybody who's watching?
Say hi to your mom.
Say hi to somebody.
She says hi, Mom.
Somebody's watching.
Somebody.
Hi to somebody. Come on now. Your dog? You have a dog, a fish or something?
A fish can watch TV.
I'm sure Miracle has someone she wants to say
Oh,
hello
my.
to.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
sure
I
she
know.
does.
Go ahead.
Relax.
I would say my aunt. I know she's laughing.
Leslie. Oh, yeah.
My aunt Leslie
Okay.
and my cousins Jaden and Jair and the rest of my family,
Oh.
the Rome family.
Okay. I'm sure they're all very proud of you also. All right. All right, we do have a certificate for you that Miss Wayne is going to present to you.
All right. It says, this award is the Jaquana M. Lewis Memorial Certificate of Academic Excellence to our Student of the Week, Miracle Rome, a community service recognition of youth who are making a difference, and is given by the Congo Funeral Home, and me and Mr. Trippy signed off on it. And I like this tagline. It says, Jaquana, she is a young lady who we dedicate the Student of the Week to, and she overcame barriers while accomplishing the impossible. And that's what you're doing. So congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, Miracle, keep up the great work. Before you go, can you just share how maybe how the relationships between like families and schools can be improved? How much of an impact that
Sure,
has on?
I'm glad you asked that. And that's one of the most important things to us. You know,
Okay.
our teachers work very hard to support the kids and provide a great education. But it's because of grandmothers, grandparents, fathers, parents, uncles, aunts who are really supportive of the school. So we make a real strong effort to make sure we reach out to those families, create a strong relationship.
Right.
They all have our cell phone number, our email. We're back and forth all the time to make sure that students like Alyssa and like Miracle have the right support in school and at home
Right.
as well. And that's one of the reasons our school has become what it is, and that's one of the reasons why we opened the pre-K program, to make sure that all students have a great education.
Okay. And parents or family members, they can come and do you need them to volunteer or?
We do have volunteers sometimes.
Do you?
We have
Okay.
some parents who will volunteer either on field trips. Sometimes they'll go into the classroom. We really want to have an open door where they feel safe, they feel welcome, and they feel like they are truly a part of the education experience
Right.
for their children.
All right. Okay. Once again, can you give us your contact information?
Yes, yes. My name is Dr. Lamont Brown, the principal of Eastside Charter School, 762-5834. We're mostly enrolling students in grades pre-K and kindergarten right now. So please reach out. We're doing a great thing for the community, and we'd love to have more young people involved.
Okay. All right, Miracle, you want to take us to our break?
Okay.
Just say we'll be right back.
Okay. We'll be right back.
All
Peace.
right. Right, welcome back to the show. We want to thank you so much for watching our first interview. And right now, Wayne is going to introduce our second guest.
All right. Our next guest, Dr. Donald Morton, I guess I'll start by saying he experienced something by just going to take advantage of the Affordable Care Act. And so I asked him if he wouldn't mind coming on and sharing with the community his experience that he just had. So welcome to the Congo
thank
Hour.
you guys. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
You're
for
welcome.
seriously, but thanks for being willing to share
Yeah.
what you're going through.
it is a, it's kind of a private matter, but anything that happens, you try to save as many lives as you possibly can. And so, as you guys know, I've been actively involved with the Patient Protection Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, and was one of the first ones to try to sign up in October for health insurance. And on December 24th, I was able to. We tried to sign up October 1, and ended up getting signed up December 24th. So it was a long journey.
Okay.
October to November?
October to December.
December. Wow. Okay.
Because all of the challenges that took place with the website and so on and so forth. And so the first thing I did was had a doctor's appointment, and my PSA levels were elevated. PSA levels are prostate kind of antigens. They try to figure out, kind of give an indication of whether or not there is the propensity or likelihood of cancer that is present.
Okay.
And so he wanted me to go to a doctor, a specialist, to figure out whether or not there was actually cancer present. Just because your PSA levels are elevated doesn't really mean that you have, that there's something present. So I went, got a biopsy done. And it's funny but not funny. When everything's well, they call you back and they let you know. You set another doctor's appointment, and they call you back ahead of time, say you don't have to come, everything's well. And I was waiting for the phone call, and they didn't call. And so the doctor said to me, we have good news and bad news. The bad news is we found cancer. The good news is we caught it early, and that if in fact we had waited longer, a couple of years down the line, we would be having a much different conversation around whether or not the prognosis was good, whether or not I would be able to beat it. And so I'm grateful. I really, really am grateful that they caught it early, that I still have a long life ahead of me, and I'm ready to kind of go into the next steps of it all.
But I really appreciate you, because when you first shared it, you weren't going to go public with it. Right. So I appreciate you for going public with it, because I think that it will encourage other men, especially those of color, to go and get checked. And I know even if they do not have insurance, which I think they wanted everybody to have insurance by a certain time, but there are places that they can go for free screenings as well. So
correct. And free screenings, the challenge becomes what you do with the diagnosis, right?
Right.
So you get screened and you find out that there's something present, and you really need a strong support, not just of doctors, but family and friends, to be able to help you to manage what might be said in that moment. That's a sobering moment. It's a very sobering moment to hear that you have cancer. It's not a hangnail. You know what I mean? It's cancer. And so you kind of stabilize yourself, you keep a stiff upper lip, and then there's a very human side to it as well. And I'm grateful to people. Trippy, people say, "Doc, you got faith," and I believe God. Yeah, I believe God. I got faith. But when you hear something like that, it's jolting.
Right.
It's a very, very human experience.
You said something that kind of caught me off guard too. You said, if you would have gone a couple years later, it might have been a different. I didn't think it could lay dormant for so long. That's
well,
the right word.
A part of what happens, man, is that prostate cancer, particularly for African American males, are usually the age for which they try to get you to get checked for white males is 50, but for African American males it's 40. Right. And we wait until there's blood in our urine or something that is taking place that makes us go to the doctor. Right. And to your point, they didn't know that I had prostate cancer because I was asymptomatic. There was nothing, there was no lump, there was nothing there. There was no blood in urine, nothing like that. So the PSA levels, the digital exams, and the biopsy is what kind of create this whole stage 1 idea or notion. So if you wait until they feel something or something such dramatic happens, then it's not too late, but it's far down the line, and your options are limited at that point. So by virtue of the fact that I kind of got checked early, it opened up a world of options to me that would not have otherwise been open to me.
So what would you say to guys who are in our age bracket, well, in your age bracket? I'm going
Wait, tripping. I'm laughing because he said at 40. I'm thinking, wait a minute, you waited a few years later to go too, because you more than 40.
Well, what's ironic though is at 40 I went.
Okay.
And I had a biopsy done at 40, and it was negative. So my PSA levels have been elevating over time.
Okay.
But my biopsy was, it was normal. So it was just this time that I went that they found something. So you gotta kind of have to go, and you have to go often.
What do they recommend? How often should you get checked? Once a year?
Once a year. Because the other good thing, if there is such thing as a good thing with prostate cancer, it's a very slow-moving cancer.
Right. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's a slow-moving cancer. But for African American males who don't like to go to the doctor anyway, right? That's number one with us. Number two, it's a very invasive. The digital exam is invasive, and so brothers don't like to feel like we're being violated. You know what I mean? So you have that whole element of it, and then not many of us want to deal with the consequences of hearing a doctor say you have cancer. So when you kind of bundle all of that, is the reason for which a lot of brothers just don't go. So at 40 years old, we need to start going. What's ironic is I was talking with my doctor recently. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do, and and all of that. I said, what should my diet be like, right? And he said, here's what's ironic. Africans don't have high rates of prostate cancer. African Americans do, right? He said Asians don't have high rates of prostate cancer. Asian Americans do. So it's something about
Our
America's
food.
diet here, how we approach dietary things here that causes, or that can be a cause of these kinds of issues. So I was laughing in the back because you got to keep humor. I said, don't put me on right before the funeral announcements. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to think I'm one step away from the funeral announcements. I'm alive and well.
Well, wait, that's funny because Mom came on Sammy's Corner for the same thing, saying because something had happened and she wanted to let everybody know that she was all right. So, but yeah, I really, once again, sincerely appreciate you for coming on and sharing, and I'm going to have you come back on so you can talk about the journey that you're going through. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And they can follow. I've decided talk with my family, and they mind but don't mind. Talk with my daughter and my children, my wife, and so they mind but they don't mind me kind of chronicling this whole thing. And so they'll be able to go to donaldmorton.org and follow the blog, so that people can see not just the super faith guy, right? The guy that speaks life over everybody else's situation, but the very human side of being able to encounter something like this. And let me finally say this. I had to embrace it like it was God trusting me with it, right? Because he knew that at some level, to your point, I would be open and honest about this journey. Right. And so, as crazy as it sounds, it's almost a privilege that God would allow something. The scripture says that he would not allow anything that we were not able to handle. And so, since it's here, and since I've been entrusted with it, I think I have a moral responsibility to help as many brothers as I possibly can to navigate the whole thing. And so they can follow the situation on donaldmorton.org and the blog, and they'll see what's going on.
All right.
And you know what I say, enjoy life.
Enjoy life,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
I just left a party before I got here.
I'm going back.
I'm going back.
Well, we're going to take a quick break because my favorite part of the show,
He's here.
Sammy's Corner, is here. So we'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome to Sammy's Corner. I am so pleased tonight to have two lovely ladies who are about the business of what I'm most, I guess, sensitive about, and that's education. You know, I try to bring to the attention to most of you the importance of our community understanding the resources that are around them and how we use those resources to grow our community. It was interesting today that I spent some time at a Hispanic church, and I noticed the multiplicity of young people getting values through the church. And once they get those values, they begin to understand how important it is to take those values, to take them on to another level. Tonight I have two lovely ladies that want to share with you how you should probably begin to think about how and how important it is that you and your family will use their resource to strengthen the community and your family. I would like to introduce you, and probably just not introduce you, but bring on a friend to our community, Alicia Clark.
Well, thank you, Mr. Congo. Thank you for having us. I'm Alicia Clark. This is Dina Chaston Ellis, and we're here this evening to share a little bit of news about an exciting new initiative that is happening in the city of Wilmington. There is a new facility that will be opening in August of 2014 called the Community Education Building. And it's a project that is actually a partnership between Bank of America and Longwood Foundation. One of the former Bank of America buildings has been donated, and they are in the process of retrofitting it for schools. 4 charter schools will be housed in this facility, going from grades K through 12. And the first 2 charter schools that have been selected to be housed in the Community Education Building are Kaumba Academy, which is a known entity in our community, and they've done a tremendous job with educating our children. They will be moving from Market Street into this new Community Education Building, which is located on French Street in downtown Wilmington. And the other school is La Academia Antonia Alonso. And that school is actually a new charter school in our community. It will serve children K through 5. The first year will be recruiting kindergartners and first graders. And this is actually sort of the brainchild of Maria Matos out of LACC. She has put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears behind getting the school off the ground, and it's finally materializing. The school is actually named after a woman who was a community activist in the Hilltop area and provided a lot of support and assistance for the Latino community. She was actually a Cuban refugee who moved to Wilmington, I think in the 60s. And so we're here tonight to share information about, more specifically about La Academia, because it is a school that's available to all children. Even though it has a Spanish name and a Spanish title, we don't want our African American or white community or Asian community or Indo-American community to miss out on the opportunity to send their children there. And Dean is here to talk a little bit about the specific programming that La Academia has to offer our families. They will be learning through what's called an expeditionary learning model, which is a very different way of teaching children. And it's also a dual language school, which is a huge benefit to the community.
So expeditionary learning, as Alicia said, was something that was founded years ago with another program called Outward Bound, and it transitioned to its own type of educational system. And basically what it entails is students having case studies, project-based learning and hands-on learning, and it allows students to really learn the concepts more than they would in a traditional setting. And the other concept of education that people experience at La Academia is the immersion program. So any type of bilingual program that kids have may not always be an immersion program, but with La Academia, it is, meaning instruction is going to be class instruction will be in a language of the language that the student is learning, whether it's English or Spanish. Everything will be pretty much totally in that language, so students will have no choice but to pick up and utilize skills that they wouldn't have used otherwise if it was in a language of their home environment. Those are the two main concepts that parents can expect their children to gain when they go to La Academia.
So part of the day will be taught in English, part of the day will be taught in Spanish, and the research shows that if children are exposed to a foreign language for 5 years, they become fluent. So the goal is for the children to leave La Academia and be fluent in Spanish, and this is very important, particularly the world that we live in now and the society that we live in now is a global society, and our Latino community is an emergent community, and it's growing larger every year, and it's really important. So I want to make sure that our families don't make assumptions about this school that it's not for them and it's just for the Spanish community. It is for all children, and we want them to take advantage of it, and especially for children in the city of Wilmington. It's so important. It's neighboring the east side, so we are hoping that some of the families with small children on the east side will look at this as an opportunity for them.
Well, I guess when you and I had a little conversation about this, one of the concerns that you have is that you want to make sure that although it may have a Hispanic influence, that we don't allow that influence to make the African American community feel that they don't belong.
Right. Exactly.
And so you're here to say, come on, everybody.
Absolutely.
And so what we want to encourage the African American community to do is to take the advantage. And so how can they begin to do that? How can they understand, and how can we motivate them? How can we make them feel comfortable? What are some of the tools you're using to do that?
Well, we're doing a lot of outreach, and thank you for bringing that up. We're doing a lot of outreach, so we're hitting child care centers and some of the community-based organizations. We're working through churches. We're recruiting as we speak. So it's really important that families contact us now to apply and fill out the registration forms. I was at Kingswood Community Center yesterday at the Easter egg hunt, and we were handing out information and registering families at that time. So recruitment is ongoing right now, and it's really important that families reach out and contact us. Now they can call me directly at 302-239-4666. That's 302-239-4666. They can call me, and I'll be happy to walk them through the process. And I will bring a registration application to, drop it off at a location, whether it's a church or community center or what have you. And they can also go to the La Academia website. And let me see, I don't know if I have that website.
Academiacharter.com.
Academiacharter.com. And they can receive an application that way as well. And Kuumba, and I didn't mention this, but Kuumba is also expanding. So part of something that's sort of new and exciting for Kuumba, as they move out of their Market Street location and they move into this new building, they're expanding to grade 8. So this year they'll be enrolling 7th graders, and the next year they'll be enrolling 8th graders. So it's an exciting time for everyone. And the building and the facility is remarkable. It's being just transformed into this, just wonderful, wonderful environment for children with state-of-the-art library and health center there, so children can receive health services while they're there. There'll be, nice dance studios and art studios there. So even though La Academia is a dual language school and Kuumba is an arts integrated school, all the children who are in the building will have access to the arts as well. So it's an awesome opportunity.
Well, that's great. I guess my
And
big-
it's free. It's
and
tuition
it's free. It's free.
There's no cost.
Okay. You know, one of the I guess one of the myths or maybe one of the perceptions is that there sometimes might, and I want to say might, have an influence the schools like that have a tendency to sometimes take the cream, and then sometimes they're influenced with people who aren't as fortunate, and I know that many times the system just isn't set up to take care of everybody. How do you feel this school is designed to take care of everybody? Can it? Or I know it wants to be the best possible school in the city. Do you think that this school can do that and be supportive to all people?
Absolutely. We're accepting all children, and there will be support services provided for children who have special needs. For example, there was a parent yesterday who asked about a speech therapist and an occupational therapist. So all of the support services that children may need, they will have. We want the bright children. We want the children that have challenges, because we believe that this is an environment where all children can succeed. And the research has shown that the expeditionary learning model works really well with children of color. In particularly, we learn better, I think, that way. Dina, you want to?
And that's
comment?
one thing that expeditionary learning focuses on, and the director of the school also talks about this a lot, the intellect and the character of each child that's under the program. So no matter what background, no matter what economic status, the expeditionary learning model speaks to the intellect and the character of the child. And each person has something to bring to the table, and there's no operational way that you can measure that. So it just brings out the uniqueness of each child, and by allowing them to have hands-on experience through project-based learning, they can bring what they have to the table, and then they can be met halfway by the concepts that they're trying to gain from learning at the school. So there's no way to really standardize that. It allows each person's uniqueness to shine through. And
Kuumba uses the expeditionary learning model now, and if you look at Kuumba's results here in the state, you know, they have done exceedingly well. So it works, and we know it works. We have a testimonial right here that it does work for children.
And that's on the Expeditionary Learning website. They promote Kuumba's test scores to show how well they've done in the state of Delaware compared to traditional learning schools.
Is there a number that someone can call?
Absolutely. They can call me directly.
And that number?
302-239-4666. 302-239-4666.
I think it's a little late for us to put it on the screen, but can you repeat that again?
Sure. 302-239-4666. And that's Alicia Clark. I'm working with a team of parents and other ambassadors to really get the word out into the community about this opportunity and try and recruit as many families as we can within the city of Wilmington.
They're pretty good. They've got it on the screen already.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Well, you know, I'm sorry we can't, you know, take a little more time, because I'm not I guess my biggest hope is that we can reduce crime in our wonderful city. And I don't think that we can reduce crime with more policemen. I think that the way we reduce crime was with more education.
Absolutely.
And so I'm excited when I hear of these kinds of support services in our community that gives our young folks confidence, experience around a system that will make, I guess, changes in their lives and make those changes supportive so that they can have a greater degree of opportunity.
Absolutely.
And so I take my hat off to you for being a part of what we need the most. We need more schools like that instead of more police force.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
and I hope that your school goes well. And I hope that our community takes the advantage
Me too.
of this opportunity. So if we can, I'd like to have you back when we got a little more time.
Absolutely.
And if you find that we're not getting more, then I would like to see you probably spend more time on 28, not only on Sammy's Corner, but maybe all through the day, just making sure that people understand the importance
Absolutely.
and that they take the advantage, and we have a better community through programs like what you're trying to do.
Absolutely. And so people don't wait. Parents need to move now because we're recruiting now.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's say you get back in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Okay, and
Absolutely.
then we'll talk more about, making sure that we in our community
Are represented.
well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Congo.
Thanks so much for coming on and making Sammy's Corner a pretty corner with two beautiful young ladies, and the package that you carry, instead of listening to me with my philosophical craziness, that we hear about our education, which is number one.
Right, right. And this is about options. So, this is a great option for families that we want them to consider.
Right, right. Well, thanks again. I've spent my time, and I just hope that you will tune in next week and see what philosophy I've come up with on Sammy's Corner. We'll be take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Okay, at this time we're going to have our funeral announcements. First we have Miss Inez Means, age 62, departed this life April the 4th. Her services were on Friday at the Canaan Baptist Church, and her burial would take place in Louisville, Kentucky. Mr. Willard O. Lewis Sr., age 74, departed this life April the 5th. His funeral services were on Friday at the Pilgrim Baptist Church, and his burial took place in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Miss Irma Jones, age 81, departed this life March the 26th. Her funeral services took place on Saturday at the St. Joseph Catholic Church in Wilmington, and her burial was private. Mr. Robert A. Weaver, age 37, departed this life April the 5th. His memorial services were held yesterday at the Congo Funeral Home, and his burial was private. Miss Carrie Kale, age 95, departed this life April the 4th. Her funeral services were yesterday at the Trinity AME Church in Middletown, and her burial will take place on Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the Delaware Veterans Memorial Cemetery. Miss Sarah E. Smith, age 79, departed this life April the 7th. Her funeral services took place yesterday at the Cornerstone United Methodist Church in Bear, and her burial was in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Miss Cheryl Graham, age 44, departed this life April the 4th. Her funeral services will be tomorrow at the Victory Christian Fellowship, 100 Wilton Boulevard in Newcastle. Viewing will be from 9 to 10:45 only. Services will start at 11, and her burial will be in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Miss Emma Lewis, age 79, departed this life April the 9th. Her funeral services will be on Thursday, April the 17th at the Brandywine Community United Methodist Church, 2200 North Market Street, at 11 a.m. Viewing will be from 9 to 10:45 only, and her burial will be in the Delaware Veterans Memorial Cemetery. Miss Tonu Brooks, age 42, departed this life April the 10th. Her funeral services will be on Thursday, April the 17th at 7 p.m. at the Mount Sinai Baptist Church, 3079 Newcastle Avenue. Viewing will be from 5 to 7, and her burial will take place in the Riverview Cemetery on Friday at 10 a.m. Mr. Isaiah Brewington, age 95, departed this life April the 3rd. His funeral services will be on Friday, May the 2nd, at the Congo Funeral Home on 201 North Gray Avenue. at 11 a.m. Viewing will be from 9 to 10:45 only, and his burial will take place in the Delaware Veterans Cemetery. Services will be announced for Mr. Ralph E. Tompkins, who passed away on April the 11th. His services will be announced. And services for Mr. Michael Chandler, age 45, will be on Saturday at the Newark United Pentecostal Church, 73 Salem Church Road in Newark, at 9:30 a.m. His viewing will be from 8 to 9:30, and his burial will take place in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Services for Ms. Violet Jackson, age 67, who departed this life on April the 11th, will take place on Thursday, April the 17th, at the Congo Funeral Home on 2nd and Gray Avenue at 1 p.m. A viewing will be from 11 to 1, and her burial will be private. Services will be announced for Mr. Rasheen Ravel, age 31, who departed this life on April the 12th. Services will also be announced for Jermaine Boston, age 59, who departed this life on April the 11th. And that does conclude all of our funeral announcements. If you have any questions, please call us at the funeral home at 652-8887. Also, you can always go to our website at www.congofuneralhome.com. And we want to say happy birthday to one of our team members over at the Congo Funeral Home, Jordan Robinson. He celebrated his birthday. I think his birthday is on the 11th. Is that? Oh, no, I don't even know what the date is. What's today's date? 13th. Oh, so he celebrated. No, I don't know when he celebrated his birthday, but happy birthday, Jordan, whenever your birthday is. I know something's on the 11th. Maybe this one, his third anniversary. I think that was on the 11th. So congratulations to Jordan and Kiona Robinson, who celebrated their third wedding anniversary, maybe on the 11th, and his birthday is coming up. So I knew I wouldn't miss my buddy's birthday. So I don't know what I was thinking about. Real quick, we're going to go over to Wayna, and she has a very special guest. Sharita Carroll is here, and they're going to give us our community news announcements. I think we might take a quick break and come back with them. But before we go, I want to say congratulations to Sharita and Darius. They are celebrating their 1-year anniversary today, and I just want to congratulate them. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Sharita, I'm sorry. So they didn't count us down or anything. Alvin, I'm really upset with you. We didn't get a countdown or anything. All right, this is my friend, Dr. Sharita Carroll. Welcome. Thank you for coming on with me.
No problem,
Don't
Wayna.
pay Trippy any attention.
Trippy's
please.
going to get it.
So you want to, you read one, I read one, then you?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
The House of God for All People presents the Shoot the Ball and Not Me. My Life is Precious, Saturday, April 26, 2014, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, you can call 302-290-7321.
Okay. And then Noble, Delaware chapter, the 8th annual Law Enforcement Career Fair will be this Thursday, April 17th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Delaware State University, Martin Luther King Student Center on the 2nd floor. And so that's it. So make sure that you attend on Thursday, April the 17th at 11 a.m.
The Zetas of Wilmington, Delaware will have their annual scholarship luncheon and fashion show, Salad Delight, Saturday, May 3rd, 2014, at 1 p.m. at Shiloh Baptist Church. The tickets for this event are $15.
All right, and then the Markevic A. Johnson Scholarship Luncheon, honoring men and women of distinction, Saturday, May the 3rd at 12 noon at the Christiana Hilton. The keynote speaker will be Dr. Harry L. Williams, president at Delaware State University. And the honorees for this year will be Sylvia Banks, Lieutenant Governor Matt Dinn, Joseph Hickey, Reverend Dennis Marshall, and Dr. Eugene McGowan, and myself. And the special performance by Gregory Collin Chambers Quartet. For more information, please call 764-2 2176. That's 764-2176. And real quickly, on yesterday, my church, Ezon Fair Baptist Church, we had a tea, the women's ministry, who is led by Lady Rosa Curry. And I want to thank you so much for coming and being one of my guests.
You're welcome, Wayne. I enjoyed myself. It was a wonderful time.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Thank you. So maybe next year you'll host a. No,
not yet.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the Congo Hour. We pray that this week will be the best week of your life. And please stay tuned. I see that Sam Guy is waiting to come on next, and he is just an awesome man of wisdom and knowledge. So I have no idea what he's going to be talking about, but whatever it is, I know that it's going to be good. So you want to say bye?
Bye, everybody.
All
Give a
right.
shout out to Darius, who's waiting for me.